Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and Solana. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So let's start with Bitcoin. I have just done a video right now, but my laptop cancelled. So basically I have to do it again. We have said that we have here in yellow a bullish pennant or triangle. Instead of breaking it to the upside, and we have said we need to break the 110,350 US dollar to the upside, then we can get a nice push, which would get us a new all-time high. Instead we broke it to the downside, so I have taken out the target of the bullish pennant because the bullish pennant got invalidated, but the target of the triangle didn't get invalidated yet. We put it to the retest point, and we also had here a triple top pattern, which broke to the downside. Target is still ongoing, 106,000 US dollar. So I personally think, and that's what I drew here yesterday, that we should see a pullback back into the fair value gap, which is the area between 106,525 US dollar down to 105,375 US dollar. In that area, I want to see Bitcoin getting to and Bitcoin getting support. So, if we get support there, then I hope that you can see it. Otherwise, I have to help you with that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Inverted head and shoulders formatation. If we are going to develop this, and yes, we can also push to the upside right now without getting into this area, and we would still have this pattern. So let me take out this from the chart, and let me take out this here from the chart. So if we break, and I will still stick to the target to the price mark 110,250 US dollar. If we break it to the upside, then I think Bitcoin is going to do an all-time high. But now we have different targets. Before, we had the target of the triangle, and from the bullish pennant, we put it here. 113,450 US dollar was our target. Since we broke it to the downside, we can take now the targets of the inverted head and shoulders formatation. The first target, 114,100 US dollar. The second target, the first target is always the length of one shoulder. We can also put the left shoulder, if we haven't developed the right shoulder yet, to the right side. And you can see 106,500 US dollar. If we get there, we get a perfect right shoulder. But the right shoulder doesn't have to be perfect. We can also wick lower than that. We can also get a push earlier. But we put it then to the breakout point. Target 114,000 US dollar. And the second target is the length of the head. This one here. We put it to the breakout point. Target 120,000 US dollar. Also keep in mind, on the weekly time frame, we still have the target of the from the cup and handle formatation. So cup and handle, we broke it to the upside, target 125,000 US dollar for Bitcoin. So my game plan at the moment is finding a long entry earlier than the 110,250 US dollar. How can this look like? So we can still sell off into the box here. And if I see that the 106,500 US dollar is going to be, let's imagine we sell off, we get a push here, we sell off again, push, pull back, and if we afterwards break the 106,500 US dollar to the upside, like this, then I can jump into a long trade far earlier and can try to get the long trade 3.5% lower than my entry which I would take if we push to the upside right now. And once we break the 110,250 US dollar to the upside and I'm already in a long trade, then I can increase my position size into the purple box. And everything over 112,500 US dollar would be take profit for me. We have a target, an old one. This is also here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. This is the length of the head. So basically 112,500 US dollar is the first target from an inverted head and shoulders formatation. And afterwards, you can already see it. The next target is going to be 114,000. Then we have a resistance at 114,500 US dollar. 115,000 US dollar is going to be psychological resistance. So basically, take profit. Yeah, that's a take profit area, because once we get a new all-time high, people are in profits. Everyone who holds Bitcoin is in profits. And then we can sell off. So I would look for this chart development. And hopefully it's going to happen like this, so it's easy to trade for me and with my setup. So let's jump into Ethereum. So for Ethereum, we have said when we were here that we need a sustainable breakout over 2,855 US dollar. We got the breakout, but the retest failed. We have also said that we can even get down to 2,716 US dollar again. We got there. So if we lose the price mark at 2,716 US dollar, then I've also put you here on the chart in bright blue this rising wedge, which already broke to the downside target, and I just used the mid-range target. So usually we take the target from here, the whole spread of the rising wedge. Since this rising wedge is very sharp and also not good looking, I took the mid-range target. We put it to the breakout point. Target 2,640 US dollar. We also have a fair value gap down to 2,593 US dollar, where we also have a support trend line. So I think there where I put you the circle between 2,590 US dollar to 2,640 US dollar, I think there Ethereum should get its low, local low, which would be a higher low on the bigger chart. So if we look from here, low, higher low, higher low, then I think we can still meet the area at around about 3,000 US dollar. If you also look into the chart, then you can also see that we have here an inverted head and shoulders formatation. So if we drop low to 2,600 US dollar, then this chart pattern would still be active, and we just need to break the 2,855 US dollar to the upside. And this is currently my long entry. If we break the 2,850 US dollar to the upside, then we can jump into the daily chart. You can already see we have a fair value gap from 2,900 US dollar up to 3,100 US dollar. But if we break it down to the 8-hour chart, then you can see it ends at 3,050 US dollar. If we go to the 4-hour chart, then you can see it ends at 3,050 US dollar. So once we break the 2,855 US dollar to the upside sustainable, my take profit would be 3,050 US dollar. And if we push to the upside even more, than the second take profit, 3,300 US dollar, even 3,450 US dollar. We have to see if we push to 4K, but this is at the moment unrealistic in my opinion. So I have put you here a new red trend line on the chart with 3 touch points. If we lose that red trend line, which is the price mark of 2,400 US dollar at the moment, then I think we should see the 2,000 US dollar for Ethereum again. So if we break it to the downside, then I think that we are not going to get a push to the upside. Instead, we should sell off over the time, minus 15% in my opinion, or even more. But we are still far away from the price mark of 2,400 US dollar, so we can still expect higher prices for Ethereum. So what about XRP? So XRP is going, yeah, most likely like we have said. So let's jump into the 1 hour chart. We have said about XRP double top pattern. We also have said rising wedge. The rising wedge broke to the downside sustainable, got its retest, got its follow through, broke lower than the broke out of the double top pattern, got its retest, got its follow through. Target $2.26, $2.20.6, $2.19. That's the overall target for XRP for both bearish chart patterns. If we go into the 50 minutes time frame, then you can already see that I have put a white trend line on the chart, this one here. So if it breaks to the upside, $2.24, then I can even say this shouldn't happen and we should push to the upside with a very high chance. The target is still ongoing of, if we go into the 1 hour chart, of the fair value gap which we have over us, which is the area between $2.38 to $2.43. That's my overall target for XRP. For sure we have chart patterns like, for example, the inverted head and shoulders formatation, which are telling us, okay, target can even be $2.48, but I don't want to hunt every single dollar or cent. I would actually take profits a bit earlier and then try to find new chart patterns which I can trade in both directions. I don't mind if I have too long or too short, but I know higher prices are better for most of us. So we still have the target ongoing from an old rectangle. This on your left side was a rectangle. Rectangles are unique. We broke it to the downside. We got to the target of the rectangle to the downside. But the target to the upside is still ongoing. And yes, we can still drop lower than the breakout point of the rectangle. And we can still get into the upper part of the rectangle. We have seen it with many coins before. If you are longer on this channel, then you already know how unique rectangles are. But the game plan for now is let XRP get into the area between $2.20 to $2.19. From there, I want to see some kind of good chart pattern, like for example a double bottom pattern, which we afterwards break to the upside and which I can trade in the long direction for XRP. So what about Solana? So we had something on the chart which I have deleted because I have done a video before. I think this was, yes. So we had here our double top pattern. And we have said, now I have to remember what I have said in the last video. So we have said if we break the $167.25 to the upside sustainable, then we should reach prices up to $171 for Solana. This here isn't a breakout. This is a wick, and a wick means that within 1 hour the price moved over the $167.25, but we weren't there sustainable for a few hours and we didn't get a retest. So basically we didn't break to the upside. I wanted to see at least one candle close over the $167.25 and afterwards a nice push to the upside. Then I could have said it's sustainable. Instead we broke to the downside. And here was the target of the double top pattern. Put it to the breakout point. Target got hit, so that's why I've deleted it in the other video. So what now? I think we are currently stuck in a panel. So everything what is going to happen here is nothing worth, in my opinion. We are still going to drop more and get more liquidity over us. So once we break the $159.20 to the upside, then I would be in for a small long trade because we have a fair value gap up to $164, $166. In this area, I will also put you here 2 price marks. In this area, we have to see. So I will delete this one first from the chart. In this area, we have to see. It depends, in my opinion, how we get to the upside. Because this can be the first push to the downside. This can be the correction to the upside. And afterwards we sell off and get a lower low than the one here, or the one we are going to develop. This is going to happen, in my opinion, once we push to the upside in a very corrective way. Now, let's not even say push to the upside, but let's just say a corrective move to the upside, which is within, for example, a rising wedge. Then, over the time, we should break to the downside and see lower prices. If we get a nice push and get within the fair value gap a small pullback, and pullbacks are normal, you can also see it here, push, pullback, push, pullback, but we always went for higher prices. If we get a pullback within a falling wedge or a bull flag, and we break to the upside, then I can say 171 US dollars are most likely going to get our target. So if we switch into the 4-hour chart, then you can see the fair value gap, which is between $170 to $171.50. So if we lose the $158 to the downside sustainable, then we can even drop to 154 US dollar and 50 cents. I would even say if we lose the 152 US dollar and 50 cents, that's why we'll make this trend line green, red, and we'll give you also here the price mark. Then I think with a higher chance, the target is still ongoing of 141 US dollar and 30 cents. Like I said, rectangles are unique. We had here a rectangle, which broke to the upside. We got to its target and we even overshot it by far. The target of 141 US dollar is still ongoing. We don't have to get there immediately. We can also push. And yes, we can also be in the biggest bull market ever and can even reach for prices for, let's imagine, $300 for Solana. This target here is still ongoing. And over the time, we should get there. So, does it mean that just because the target here is still ongoing, that I'm going to fear and are afraid of taking long positions? No. I can still take a stop loss. And if we get something bullish to the upside, then I can trade it for sure long with a stop loss. And for some reason, if we sell off, then I'm out of the long trade with a nice stop loss, with low losses. And then we can even short it. We also have the target ongoing of this rising wedge in orange. 132 US dollar and 25 cents. So the targets are still ongoing to the downside. And yes, the 171 US dollar and 50 cents are not going to invalidate them. So I can long this push to the upside. And still we can sell off. To be bullish, that's why we'll make this trend line green. We have to break the $180 to the upside, and then we would invalidate, in my opinion, the bearish chart patterns. And then we can even reach for prices over $200. But we are still far away from that. And we slowly missing momentum. You can see it, nice push to the upside, small correction. Push to the upside, correction, push to the upside, correction. And here, the first time, the correction is exactly at the point where we push to the upside. So here, we push to the upside and our pullback got at the same level when we started. Before it was push, pullback, push, pullback. So we always had higher lows on the chart. What we have right now is still in higher low, but this higher low is just slightly over the old low. So you can already see it. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and here slightly higher low. So if we hold that structure, we can still get for higher prices. I want to see the panel breaking to the upside, $159.20. This is going to be my entry for Solana if we break it to the upside. $164 to $166 first take profit. If we get in a corrective way up, then I'm going to take 100% out of my long trade for Solana. If we push and get a correction within a falling wedge, and we break the falling wedge or the bull flag to the upside, then I'm even going to increase my position size for the push to $171 for Solana. So thank you for watching, and we see each other in the next update.